Today, we're diving into the True Damage Senna Reroll comp, a powerful force in patch 14.3. We'll be analyzing one of our recent games, where we will dissect key decision-making while we are being competed. Let's look at the build layout up front, synergies and overview. This comp thrives on the True Damage synergy, boosting our team's raw damage output. We'll run 7 True Damage units, featuring Senna as our 3-star carry and Akali as our late-game ace. Additionally, we'll leverage synergies like Superfan, Rapid Fire, K/DA for sustaining the end games. With Senna's 3-star Fury and Akali's late-game assassination, this comp will leave your enemies begging for mercy even in challenger lobbies. It's important to know when to play this comp. Look for this comp if you find a True Damage headliner, ideally on Senna, Echo, or Akali. It's all about snowballing Senna early and transitioning smoothly into Akali later. Let's hop right into the gameplay. It was a loaded carousel portal and I got a couple of True Damage units like Senna and Yasuo. The first augment that I picked was Buried Treasures, granting me a few early components. My early board was pretty strong to win me early rounds with active True Damage and Rapid Fire synergy. I slammed Warmog's armor on Xanti, providing time for my backline to stack. Let's see the gameplay basics. This is a slow roll comp. We'll stay above 50 gold and roll aggressively for 3-star Senna being in level 5 or 6. In the early game, prioritize Senna, Kennen, Taric, and other True Damage units. Protect Senna and maximize her damage with True Damage Aura. By mid-game, focus on hitting Senna 3-star. Transition towards Echo and Nico. Level to 6 on stage 3 to 2 and keep rolling for Echo and other key units. Then add Akali and Kiana to complete the board. Alternatively, add Caitlyn if needed in the end game. In this game, we are starting with a good win streak. In carousels, prioritize items for Senna. And I completed crafting my tank item. Once I got an early Nico, I moved to level 5 to have more tanky defense. But a punk comp stopped me from getting into longer streaks. It is currently in the meta and we have dedicated videos on how to play those comps on our channel. Do check it out. The link is provided in the description below. Once I got the Echo, I swapped my Xanti and equipped the items on Echo. At 3-to-1 round being in level 5, I was rolling for more copies of my True Damage units, and eventually I got my True Damage Senna headliner. For the second augment, I picked the new recruit, granting me a +1 slot and a champion duplicator. We also have this line of playing a Superfan synergy, providing an ideal item for Senna. There was also one more competitor with Edgelord headliner Yasuo, who will also be playing True Damage units and a potential threat. From the component obtained from the carousel, I crafted Nashor's Tooth as the second item for Senna, and one more Rabadon's Death Cap to complete her items. As we touched upon the items topic, let's see our key champion's itemization strategy. Senna, our queen of True Damage. Stack her with Ginsa's Rageblade, Spear of Shojin, and Giant Slayer. Other AP-based items as we have used in this game such as Death Cap, Spear of Shojin, and Nashor's Tooth also work. Akali, our late-game assassin. Itemize her with Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and Hand of Justice. Also, a Bloodthirster, Titan's Resolve, and a Deathblade combo are of good value. For tanks, give primary tank items such as Bramble Vest, Gargoyle Stoneplate, Dragon's Claw, Redemption, Warmog's Armor on Echo. Excessive tank items go on Nico. Additional AD items go on Caitlyn or Kiana. Let's get back to the gameplay. With 78 HP left, I picked Best Friends as my third augment, granting additional attack speed and armor. Every unit was paired up and feeling bad for my Lilia. The other Yasuo carry opponent was still posing a huge threat. I picked one more copy of Senna from the 4-to-4 carousel. I want to complete my board as soon as possible to tackle the other opponent playing with the same synergy. Thus, I quickly moved to level 7 and used a champion duplicator to make my Senna into 3-star. After getting a Caitlyn from the shop, my board is pretty strong enough now. After a couple of rounds in search of Akali, I quickly moved to level 8 and rerolled. Luckily, I also got a Kiana. A small misclick cost me a round where I accidentally took out my Lilia.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah, yeah.
In the meantime, I slammed a Bloodthirster, Hand of Justice, and an Infinity Edge on Kiana. This KDA floor with the best friend augment does not pair up well for me, as I faced difficulty placing my units on the KDA floor as well as getting the augment bonus. Again, the poor Lilia was left aside from the KDA floor. I have cruised into the top 4. Still, this Yasuo carry keeps breaking my streaks. Then I moved to level 9 and added a Yorick. I managed to eliminate the meta punk opponent at first, then moved into my probably final battle. We've got a few tips and tricks for this comp. Position Kiana strategically to steal enemy tanks' items and disrupt their front line. If you get a True Damage emblem, prioritize putting it on Caitlyn for extra damage. Adapt your positioning based on enemy threats such as Akali sniping. Use K/DA units to protect Senna in crucial fights. Now, I positioned my Kiana to tackle the opponent's Akali and also moved my Senna from her line of attack. The fight went very close with the opponent's Yasuo taking down most of my units. Finally, my Caitlyn stood out on top to get us the victory. True Damage Senna Reroll is a potent comp that can dominate the arena. With careful planning and execution, you'll be melting enemies and racking up those wins. Remember, practice makes perfect, so try this out and let us know in the comments. That's it for now. For more interesting content, subscribe to our channel, Item Swap.